cost.
How do you expect the people to afford such costs?
Maybe can you elaborate the 150? How?
Yes.
Perspective.
Okay. You know, I put out the last slide about can you afford not to do it. Now, what we see is that most of the times the inspections that we've been doing now are when problems already happened for the building. Either a slope has failed, or somebody has died, or there's been a serious accident. That's when the people put up the money to do it. You know, they say, please come and check all of this. So really, my question to the people is, can you afford not to do it? Safety. This is not inspection for improvement of the building. The inspections are very holistic. You know, it is like you go to, when you are 50 years old, you're older, you go to a physician and you say, look, doctor, can you give me a checkup? Before I go, you know, I'm not going for an operation. I'm not asking you to give medication. I'm just saying, look, can you give me a holistic checkup? I want to know my condition now. So this is really something that every building must go through. And the cost that is put forward, really, when you start amortizing it over the 10 years, you know, it is very negligible for the kind of expertise and information that you get. So do not be reactive, but I believe that you should ask your readers to be proactive, you know, rather than reactive. We have a very reactive situation. When slope fails, then everybody starts looking at slope until the next wet weather, you know. Yeah. So people forget very quickly. But we are at this forefront, and unfortunately, we see a lot of building failures, which we could just have avoided. You know, you guys should have just done this. You know, you would have avoided a heavy cost of repair. I give you an example. In Penang, you have a lot of slopes. It costs very little to inspect and repair a small drain, maybe just a few $1,000s. But once the slope comes down, the repair could be in the millions, or maybe you can't even repair. So that's what we are saying. You know, the cost is actually proactive cost.
Maybe to add that, Anthony, your rate of 150 to 2 ringgit per square foot. Of course, people will multiply it by the square footage they will come up to be a huge thing. Of course, look very scary. But if the buildings, Anthony did mention that actually if it's a huge building, which is a repetitive kind of issue, I think the cost it should be much lower.
Yes,
much lower.
It can be much lower. You can get a better rate if it's repetitive, and if you have good records, and if you have maintained the building well. I believe that, you know, the cost can be tailored cheaper.
Maybe there was a suggestion that the TPP bears some of the cost for this type of costs. So respond to that.
I think when they sell the property, they should share some of the profit with the council also. That is my requirement, isn't it? You bought it for 100,000, you sell it for 200,000. Would you share 10% with the council? No, isn't it? It is high-rise living is about joint responsibility. That's what we are trying to promote. It's not easy for the council to bear this sort of cost. The council's assessment collector is not meant for that purpose. It's not possible. And of course, if you don't, as highlighted, if you don't repair some of the defects, when accident happen, it will be even much prohibitive. The money that you need to spend, or property, your property will be wiped out like Thailand Tower. You get nothing, you get zero. You just lost your home, your house, and your life. That is an extreme case where you lose everything. Here you can choose to sell out and then move on. But when accident happen, you may lose your life, your home, and your property.
You know, out of the...
Of course, the cost is a great issue. I understand.
Maybe just now when YDP mentioned just now, 249, so 349, and 50, only 50 have responded. 55. Well, are these commercial blocks or are these
Mix.
It's a mix, is it? And out of the 55, what's the diagnosis like? I mean, are they?
Fortunately, all of these 55, the report submitted is saying that the building is in good condition and safe.
And because an engineer's liability is for life, is it? So that there is no room for, what I say, they're not going to lie or anything about, you know.
Yeah, but it's true. But to be fair to those engineers who inspect, whatever you ask to inspect, I think they are liable for that particular part. It's not other hidden part in order. I mean, that to be fair. Otherwise, no engineer will dare to take up this challenge and to put a pen down there to certify it is safe and sound.
I think we must clarify that when the building is built, I showed you the piling and structure. The original piling, the design of the building is the responsibility of the original engineer and architect. That cannot change. Then when an inspection is done, the new inspector, the engineer and architect who goes in to do the inspection, he is responsible for the report that he prepared. He's not responsible for what was done, yes. So it's his responsible for that aspect of his report. He cannot assume new responsibility for what was done previously by somebody else.
So you know why the cost is so expensive?
Yeah. Okay, so back to the Menara UMNO. You're saying next week only, is it?
Yeah, next week is a deadline for them to submit the final report.
Is that the independent one, the one that
Yes,
ICRAM is
independent.
supposed to submit?
Independent.
And the one that was submitted by their own CNS was it? What was the report like?
The report we are still scrutinizing the statement, in detail.
Maybe about slope maintenance, which Mr. Anthony touched about just now, saying that there are many slopes. What's the frequency of the slope maintenance in Penang? Are they basically checking all the slopes?
I think that's if the slopes are within the property, of course the onus is on property owner to maintain it. But we do not have a system like Hong Kong where every slope is identified and they can have periodic inspection, maintenance and all that. That would come under JKR, which I think they are working towards this regime. That I think I now notice that there are ID tag on some of the slopes, some of the retaining wall along Jalan Tun Sadun. Every slope must have an identity and record. So when that would enable them to do checking, maintenance and all that. So every slope would have a database, like period of maintenance, what kind of upgrading has been done and all that.
So you're saying
But we are moving towards what the tough and strict regime of the UK and all that, all this involve money. We want to have a more perfect situation to come out. All this involve cost.
But for now, do we have a system to check on the slopes?
On the council, any system to check on the slopes.
Slope, basically, what we are practicing now is more on the visual finding. So if there is a signs of that kind of risk, then of course council will take corrective actions. Even though that ownership could belong to someone else, but anyway. We will also stay so-called proactive to make sure that this the incident won't happen.
So this is just visual, so you don't have like an actual detailed way of checking the slopes. Like you said, there will be water on top, then you can see it from the bottom. So is there any way that you all can go in and check or make sure the owners check it to ensure safety, to prevent cases like that? Like you said, water is very dangerous.
Of course, water is very dangerous. I think first thing first, I think all the owner will have to be responsible for their own presence. So if there's anything, they can do it first to prevent the thing from deteriorating further. I think that will be the wise choice. If they need any further assistance or help, that they can refer to us also in that case.
But that's only for if it's a single unit property or something. What if it's a
Even in apartment block, same thing. Apartment block also, we do receive a lot of complaint for even the resident, not necessary to be the MC or JMB. They also keep raising the concern. Then quickly we'll send our people go and have a look on that matter.
because the Bukit Gambir one the other day, you know that little waterfall.
Yes, okay,
Has
Gambir.
anyone gone up there to check what's going on?
Bukit Gambir one is, which one? The one is the blue roof, right? Mutiara
Yeah.
Yeah, Mutiara is just yes, our engineer also they went there to inspect that. It's just a normal erosion of the land.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.